Hello guys, welcome back to another video, and today we are explaining the Fortnite storyline. Yep, a bit random, but figured since Fortnite's kind of good right now, might as well explain a bunch of shit. Anyway, it all started with Fortnite Save the World. Epic made a zombie shooter, just like there were a bunch of back then, but it was getting out of style, and what was in style? Battle Royale. 100 people on a map or more, and they basically fight to the death, and the last one surviving is the winner. And Fortnite thought, you know what? Let's do that. Let's make Battle Royale. So, they got a team on it, and it took them about 3 weeks to make. But we finally got the preseason, not season 1, but we got the preseason of Fortnite, which brought in Ghoul Trooper and Skull Trooper. 2 troopers. And they've lived on for a while, I'll tell you that. Anyway, moving on, we finally got season 1 at the end of Fortnite Mirrors, and what it added was Renegade Raider and Aerial Assault Trooper. 2 of the most OG skins ever to exist that in Fortnite, obviously, but to exist. And that's about it for season 1, really. They added bounce pad, and that was about it. Anyway, season 2, Tilted Towers. You already know. Actually, I'd say around 99% of the lobby was landing there every match. And who could blame them? It was a great POI, and had some really good nostalgia to it every time it's come back. But that was really it for Season 2. Season 3 brought in telescopes that predicted a meteor hitting the map, and sadly for me, it hit my favorite POI, Dusty Depot, leaving it as Dusty Divot, which was weird. I didn't really expect it, and honestly, I wasn't around back then in Fortnite, so But over time, I know I loved it. That was a great POI. Just something simple. Season 4, Meteor. Anyway, Dusty Divot, as I already said, there was a rivalry between superheroes and villains, and the Visitor is there from the Meteor, and he ends up making himself a rocket. And what he does with this rocket is he gets outside of the loop, and you may be questioning, what is the loop exactly? The loop is the thing in which we are trapped in. And this is so that the island can protect its, maker. And the maker of everything in existence, the 0 Point. The 0 Point formed this island around itself to prevent people from taking the 0 Point's power and destroying everything we know. And it was hidden in a vault that was covered. And in between that, there was a area that on the other side, we don't know if it had another map, but later on we had a similar situation. Season 5. Oh yeah, and just to be clear, the rift that the Visitor opened by using the rocket to get outside of the loop, it ended up spawning in a cube in Season 5 that rolled over to Loot Lake and got stuck inside of it. But anyway, Season 5, Fortnite's first ever birthday, a spray meta, a desert area, which I loved, and Fortnite's first ever drivable vehicle, the ATK golf cart, to put it simply. Season 6, Cube Monsters, Kevin explodes the island of Loot Lake, and the Butterfly event, where we get sent to a white void and touch a butterfly, and that's really it. I mean, yeah, that's basically it. Season 7, the iceberg finally comes off from the ice moon and hits the island, leaving a icy area in the place where there was nothing. Oh, so, just so you know, water in Fortnite, the water around the island, it kills you. Yeah, it kills you to step in the water outside the island. But the ones within the island, yeah, you can touch that water. But anyway, Iceberg, Ice King, map covered in snow from the Ice King. Assumably, he got mad. I assume he got mad and just decided, you know what, this isn't cold enough. I'm making this winter. Also, planes. Planes were finally added to Fortnite. Their second drivable vehicle. And I think... No, they didn't have that. Anyway, Season 8, Volcano, and the Unvaulting event, Pirates, and Fortnite's very own storyline character, other than John Jones, Peely. Which he didn't really live that long, if I'm going to be honest. The Unvaulting event. The vault got uncovered. We had to do a bunch of mini games to put the pieces in place to unlock the vault, and then we went in. We got to vote out of 6, or I think 8 items in front of the 0 point that we wanted back. 1. And you want to know what the noobs chose? The drum gun. Now, don't get me wrong, the drum gun was great, but it was only part of the spray meta, and that's why the noobs liked it so much. But anyway, moving on from that, we got Season 9. And this brought in a Neo version of Tilted, which everybody loved. We got Jonesy's Discord mod form, which is basically just Old Man Jonesy after drinking the Peely smoothie. And yeah, Peely got turned into a smoothie. Don't worry, he survived, but barely. And the IO saw that there was a monster creeping around that got out of the ice in Season 7 and was creeping around the island, so they built a mech to destroy it. But the Singularity who built the mech didn't know how to drive it. How can you make something and not know how to work it? But luckily there was someone who did. The Paradigm, one of the members of the 7, which was trapped by the IO. And, moving on from that, the Monster vs. Mech event happened. The mech had to grab the 0 point out of the vault and use its power to finally destroy the monster. But the 0 point wasn't just gonna sit back in its place after the mech took it out and just left it there. And then did the floss, went up into the sky to find out where the ice moon is. Ended up crash landing and never coming back. But, moving on, the 0 point is exploding. And it brings back a lot of stuff. Dusty Depot, finally, with an upgrade, with a lab for the rocket. Yeah, they redid the rocket. But instead, it's the scientist instead of the visitor. Oh yeah, and just to clarify, the visitor, scientist, and Paradigm, all 3 are members of the 7. You'll find out the other 4 later. Moving on, we got P1000. Peely Smoothie got a new body. The meteor is back, although this time stuck in the sky. It's still moving. The scientist, obviously, as I said, and the very first end event. Now, this is where some negotiation came into play. Donald Mustard, the creative director of Fortnite, who had the entire event team on his side, he told them, let's shut off the game for a month and bring it back up. Because he wanted to do a sequel, but didn't want to do a sequel, so he had to find some way to do a sequel without doing a sequel, if that makes any sense. So, he wanted 3 days. He told them a month. He let them belittle it down over time, because he knew he wouldn't they wouldn't accept it if he just said 3 days originally. And they did. 3 days later, Fortnite came back online with Chapter 2. Best chapter in existence. Chapter 2 Season 1 included a new map, the plane crash, Alter, and Ego, and Splash versus Riptide. We also got Season 2, Midas, Deadpool. We got the Agency, the Shark, the Yacht. Alto turned into Ghost, and Ego turned into Shadow. They were having a little war, and behind the scenes, Midas was making a device to push back the storm that we all knew and loved. Well, not loved, but we all knew. But it backfired. And they all turned into water and flooded the map. Of course, the storm stayed, but they put water in there. Deadpool takes over the yacht, and Jules, Midas' daughter, becomes a new character. So does Meowscles' kid, Kit. We got the Authority, which is basically just an upgraded version of the Agency, Fortilla, and finally, Cars. We got taxis, and we got, finally, a normal car. And a Whiplash, even. Which was the fastest car in the game at the time. We also got a Marvel season for Season 4 of Chapter 2. We had Galactus coming through and coming to the map for the 0 point. And, oh yeah, just to clarify, the end event brought in a black hole that sucked us all into a black hole for 3 days, and that's how we got into Chapter 2. But Season 4, Marvel, Galactus is coming, Stark Industries, and Shadow Midas, which is basically just Purple Midas, yeah. Yeah, that's basically it. Season 5, we got The Mandalorian, The Foundation, which later on we'll have a bit more storyline to them. Kratos, Master Chief, and my favorite character so far, Mancake. Season 6, Primal. We got the Spire in the middle of the island, Raz, which my friends keep calling Riz, and I hate it. Jump Boots, the Recycler, which sucked, and Bows. I mean, it isn't the first time we got Bows, but it's the first time they've been a prominent role in the game. Season 7, Invasion. We got Rick Sanchez, Dr. Sloan, which shall become more evident soon. Morty, the Aliens, Ariana Grande Rift Tour. Oh yeah, and just to mention, Season 1 of Chapter 2 had a Star Wars event, and Season 2 had Travis Scott's Rift Tour. But anyway, yeah, we got Ariana Grande and the aliens mind reading us to get info on the island and everything. They destroy the fucking Spire, and the event V2 begins, in a way. Season 8, Cubed. We got the Foundation in Gotham, for some reason, and the Cube Queen, who is taking over the island with, obviously, cubes. And in the end event, the Foundation comes back because he was trapped in the Spire, and when they destroyed it, he ended up in Gotham. And he ended up making his way back, but he got in time for the end event where we're fighting on the surface against the aliens. They take our weapons. The Scientist and Visitor come in and open up the bunkers that we've been waiting so long to open since Chapter 2 began. And they bring us in there. And it leads to the Imagined Order's base, which is the IO, by the way, the Imagined Order. And their leader, Sloan. But yeah, they bring us in there. Scientist leads us through the place. We end up meeting with Foundation and Jones. And Jones was being, he was in some sort of mind control room. And Foundation saved him, revealing he was Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. And yeah, the end event V2 happened. Water got into the IO's thing. They flipped the entire island, bringing in my favorite chapter, Chapter 3. Now, this brought in Spider-Man, We got the Daily Bugle. We got snow all over the map. We got weather such as tornadoes and lightning. We got Buttercake, which is Colombo, and he was only there for half a season, sadly. Best character in Fortnite ever. We got Ronan, my favorite character, the Blade of the Waning Moon. We got Tilted Towers back, and you already know I was around then, so me and the boys were talking there every day, even throughout the entire chapter. IO versus 7 in Season 2 Resistance. The IO is taking over a lot of map with blimps and drills. The drills appeared in Season 1, but we didn't know what they were. But yeah, we got blimps now. Covert Cavern is now Command Cavern, and is run by the IO. Oh yeah, and Sanctuary, it's run by the 7. We got the Collider being built. We have the mech being rebuilt on the moon. Paradigm's alive. After the 7 thought she betrayed them, she came back, and one of the members of the 7 helped her out and brought her back. Oh yeah, and just to mention, the sisters are the Order and the Imagine. And we also got the other member, the Origin. And he was originally the Cube King. Yeah, a little bit of info there that you might have wanted to know. Anyway, we got the mech back, and they took down Sloan. There's a whole war going on throughout the map. IO was taking over parts of the map. 7 was taking over parts of the map. They both had everything taken over. There were blimps, and the mech came and destroyed all the blimps and drills, and took down the Collider before it could destroy the entire island. What a nice save. Then, we got Season 3, Vibin'. We got Ballers back. We got the Rave Cave, one of my favorite POIs, if not my very favorite. It had a roller coaster and everything. Oh yeah, and just to be clear, that was Command Cavern before. Darth Vader, Indiana Jones, and we got the Butter Barn back. Season 4, Google Chrome. That was the joke that everybody was making there. But yeah, Chrome. Silver substance. You can turn into a blob. And we had the Herald, we had Bites, and the very, very forgettable and very fucking cringe event, Fracture, which was the Chapter 3 event. Yep. I'm very sad. Anyway, Chapter 4, Season 1, we got New Slap, we got Kinetic Ore, we got Amy back on board. We got the Battle Buzz Jet, the Oathbound, the Rift Gate, the Sword Gun. And yes, there was a sword gun. They had a Falcon Scout. They even had a hammer. A giant hammer. And you could bounce around the map with it, fling people into the air. You could do everything. You could knock everything around the place. Everything. And that's about it for Season 1. Season 2, Mega Shitty. I call it Mega Shitty because they really only changed the one POI. I mean, they brought a few others in, but they only changed one part of the map. Everything else was the same. Literally. No detail was removed from the first season. And this brought in my boy, Renzo the Destroyer. We also got the Kinetic Blade and Aaron Yeager. Season 3, Wilds. We got the Boomerang, the Kinetic Boomerang. Optimus Prime. Sloan is back because Relic decided to save her. And she's good now. She built the apparatus and predicted the eclipse. Lorenzo, which is a past version of Renzo the Destroyer. And one of his styles shows how he got in that situation. He was very reckless and ended up turning himself into a cyborg. And I feel bad for him. He's also my favorite character of the whole entire Fortnite storyline. We got the Meowscles back in a mullet, and that was great. I loved that. Not just that, but in season 4 we got Kato Thorne, Cabby Lane, Nolan Chance, who looked like a pedophile version of Jonesy. Not very exciting. We got Ahsoka and the Pizza Pit herself. Wait, what was her name? Piper Pace, I think. The Pizza Pit girl. Very nice place. Pizza Pit is amazing. And then Kato's Time Machine, which the heist game we were planning to steal, brought us into Season OG. Back in Time. Chapter 1. We got OG remix skins. It mixes of Omega and Ragnarok, Low Whip and PLA. We got Renegade Raider and Lynx. We got Aura and Rex, Bronto and I think Bright Gunner. We got Raven Team Leader, which is very, very loved by the community. Spectre Knight, Time Machine, and the Big Bang event, which is basically just the Chapter 1 end event with M&M and Rocket Racing and Lego, and yeah, that's basically it. Chapter 5, Underground. Pandora's Box. It comes out from the hand of the ground. Peely is missing due to the society taking him. There's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Peter Griffin, and Solid Snake. Season 2. It's a Greek theme. We're probably getting Kratos. We already have Avatar. We got Billie Eilish as the new festival pass. And the roadmap for Chapter 5 got entirely leaked. Season 3, Apocalypse. Season 4, we get the goddamn Marvel theme, and then we got another Season OG Part 2 for Chapter 2. And then